Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Jang Ho from We Lift Weights. So this is part 3 of Shinsung University and Kaiyo High School training camp. If you haven't watched part 1 and part 2, please check them out as well. I'll link the videos in the description. So this was filmed on a Monday. The morning session starts from 7 a.m. and they started out with working on some core training. So these guys had 4 training sessions planned on this day. The earliest session starts from 7 a.m. and they were mainly focused on doing core training and some dynamic warm-up stuff. So this is Coach Kim Dong-woo. He coaches middle school athletes. They joined in during this training camp. I think you guys can tell, but Coach Dong-woo used to be a super heavyweight weightlifter. He has snatched 200 kilos and clean and jerked more than 240 kilos in training. This is Roy and his Coach Dong-woo's dog. He decided to join in during the training camp as well. Hopefully YouTube doesn't demonetize me for showing that. So just to recap, Kaiyo High School from Kyoto, Japan has decided to come visit Shinsung University in Korea. Shinsung University decided to host a winter training camp. From Kyoto, 3 athletes joined: Rakue, Nanasa, and Kotaro. All of them are great athletes and all of them are number 1 ranked high schoolers from Japan. Shinsung University also has great athletes. They're relatively a new weightlifting team, but I believe they have 3 highest ranked university athletes right now.
2人はどうして走らないんですか？
試合前で今日スタートの重量ぐらいまで触る。
何キロまで触るの？
僕はスタートは103キロから125で行きます。
僕は140の175ぐらい触れたらいいなと思います。
From 10 a.m. this is their second training session. They decided to go outside and do some running and conditioning stuff.
얘 카메라를 안 해요, 얘가?
걷는 애들이 더 많아.
So after doing several laps of jogging, they decided to do 100-meter sprints. So I just want to point out that they don't do this all year round. As I mentioned in part 1, majority of Korean athletes don't have any important competitions coming up till March. So they focus a lot on general strength, accessories, hypertrophy work, things like that instead of just working on the classical lifts. Roy decided to do some cardio as well here. Here's Coach Dong-woo getting carried, but he weighs 120 kilos, so that is not easy to do. So now we're back inside to do some weightlifting exercises. Rakue and Kotaro decided to go off program on this day. They had a competition coming up in less than a week, so they just wanted to make sure they get to work on some heavy classic lifts. Tomari Kotaro is a 55 kilo lifter, and his best numbers are 108 kilos in the snatch and 137 kilos in the clean and jerk at this point. It's insane that this kid has only been lifting for less than 3 years. He is so strong. Here is Rakue. In training, he has done up to 150 kilo snatch. He has done up to 180 kilo clean and jerk in training, but he's also done 184 at competitions. Rakue is one of those athletes that performs better at competitions. So the lady you see on the left is Coach Kawasaki. She's a weightlifting coach at Kaiyo High School. She's a great coach, and she also used to be a very good weightlifter. She has medaled at international competitions as a 44 kilo lifter. Rakue was actually using Eleiko barbells on other training days, but for this day, he decided to stick to Uesaka barbells since all Japanese competitions use Uesaka barbells, and that's what he was going to be using at the upcoming competition. On the other hand, the Korean team and Nanasa was working on some military presses on this day. Nanasa didn't have any competitions coming up, so she decided to stick to the program. By the way, if you're enjoying what you're watching, please consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps the channel grow. So Rakue has a strange habit of extending his neck right before he pulls the bar off the floor. He told me he doesn't understand why he does this. He wants to stop doing it, but it's just a habit. He can't control himself. You'll notice that he will extend his neck more and more as the weight gets heavier. Pretty rare to see a high schooler 55 kilo lifter make 90 kilo power snatch look that incredibly easy. I personally really like Rakue's first pull. He has a very good position when the bar is at knee height. Tomari has a habit of jumping back a little bit too much. Ideally, you don't want to jump back more than half a foot length. He still makes it work because he is incredibly strong. So Kotaro smoked that 100 kilos. 100 kilos is a pretty impressive weight if you can snatch it as a high schooler at 55 kilo body weight. Pretty cool to see that as the weight got heavier, everyone in the training hall stopped what they're doing to watch. Korean team doesn't have a lot of strong 55 kilo lifters, so I think they were genuinely impressed by how strong Kotaro was. So here's a comparison slow-mo. Originally I was going to point out some differences in these three lifts, but honestly I can barely find any differences. These are basically three identical lifts. The timing, the speed of the pull, everything is almost identical. So here is another slow-mo comparison. So check out his position when the bar reaches knee level. I would say that is pretty ideal. However, he pushes his knees forward and throws his shoulders back a bit too early. I believe he should be able to elevate the bar even more if he stays more upright during the pull, but obviously he's strong as heck. He can still snatch a ton of weight. You guys probably noticed that Kotaro worked up to 3 singles with his opener weight, and Rakue just worked up to 1 single. Coach Kawasaki told me that Rakue doesn't have the stamina to repeat 3 singles of his opening weight, Also, I'm pretty sure both Rakue and Kotaro is exhausted at this point. They had a really rough workout on Saturday and Friday. The Korean team was working on front squats with slow descent at this point.
Bye-bye. 調子いかがですか？
あんまり良くないかなって思ったんですけど、取れたんでいいかも。
練習だと結構何回も触れてるんですか？
いや、145はまだ1回だけ練習で、はい、練習で初めて47取った。
Now they have moved on to the clean and jerks. As I mentioned before, Kotaro is a power jerker slash squat jerker. As a weight gets heavier, he will switch to squat jerking. I would say Kotaro is relatively stronger in the clean and jerk compared to the snatch. His best clean and jerk is 137 in training, and I believe he has the potential to do more than 140 under 55 kilo body weight in the future. So Rakue has a very strong clean. He's actually cleaned up to 190 kilos from the blocks when he weighed around 76-77 kilos. He's not very confident in the jerk. He has tried squat jerking in the past, but he decided to stick to the split jerk, and he has done up to 184 in competition. One thing I find really interesting about Kotaro is that he cleans at the thighs. You will rarely see a Japanese lifter cleaning at the thighs. Most athletes from Japan will make contact at the hip, just like Rakue. I mentioned this in part 2 as well, but in Japan they teach the hip clean as the correct method of weightlifting. Sometimes coaches would correct the athletes to make contacts at the hip instead of the thigh, but Coach Kawasaki doesn't mind Kotaro cleaning at his thighs, and I personally also think that he has great clean technique. So you guys might have noticed that Rakue is not using any knee sleeves during the clean and jerks. Pretty common to see athletes not wearing any knee supports during the snatch, but a lot of athletes prefer wearing thicker knee sleeves or knee wraps during the clean and jerks. I asked Rakue why he doesn't wear any knee sleeves, and he told me that he's not able to squat as deep with thick knee sleeves. In order to catch his cleans at the lowest point possible, he prefers lifting without any knee sleeves. For how strong he is, he likes to take small jumps in the clean and jerk. I feel like most athletes who can clean and jerk more than 180 kilos, they'll just go straight into 70 kilos, jump up to 110 kilos, slap on some yellows, lift 140 kilos, then move on to 160 kilos, and then add 10 kilos from there. But Rakue likes to take small jumps and really take his time during the warm-ups. During the snatches, Tomari has a bad habit of jumping backwards a lot, but I've noticed his pulls a lot more straight during the clean. Here's Pyeongjun working on slow tempo front squats. 180 kilo is a really heavy weight to be doing tempo squats with. So here's 130 kilos. Cleans very easy. I've noticed Rakue is doing a lot of 1 clean, 2 jerks in the warm-ups. This might be because he's not too confident in the split jerk technique. So here's 110 kilos for Kotaro. It's double his body weight. Very easy clean. Kotaro rarely maxes out on his squats. He usually works on heavy sets of 3 for both front squat and back squats. But I know he's done at least 160 kilos in the front squat, so he has a very strong clean. Never struggles to squat from the bottom. A great clean and power jerk. He does a great job of driving that bar as high as possible. So here's 160 kilos. Clean is easy as always. A very strong split jerk. He does a great job of moving that bar straight down and up during the dip and drive. He went slightly behind during the drive, but he still managed to make that weight look very easy. Here's 170 kilos, just 5 kilos under his planned opener. He didn't struggle during the clean at all, but that split jerk looked a little bit heavy for him. So 125 kilos again. This is the third set. Unfortunately, he missed that one. Nakui shaking his head here. He actually managed to make it on the next set. Unfortunately, I don't have that footage because my data was corrupt, but here is the comparison slow-mo footage. So great first pull. His shoulders are over the bar until it makes contact at his thighs. Kotaro is also very good at utilizing his arms to pull under that bar. So now on to the power jerk. If you look at the third set, which is on the right side, you'll see that he jumped back a lot, leaving the bar out in front of him, and that is why he missed that bar even though he had enough height on the bar. Now Rakue is attempting 175 kilos. This is the weight he's planning to open with. Nice and easy clean. It looked like he had it from this angle, but unfortunately he missed it. And he decided to go for another attempt at 175 kilos. Once again, it looked like he had it. Maybe if he ran forward a few meters, he might have been able to stabilize the weight. So here's a slow-mo comparison. From your left, it's 170, 175 first set, and 175 second set on the right. Here you can tell he pulled that 170 kilos a lot faster and a lot higher compared to 175. Obviously, the weight is 5 kilos lighter. And here's the split jerk. In terms of bar trajectory during the dip and drive, I think it's really nice. It goes straight down and up. However, he doesn't drive that bar high enough. I think he focuses a lot more on getting under that bar as fast as possible during the split jerk, and it's kind of working against his advantage when the weight gets heavier. So they've stripped the weights down and doing some technique work with 70 kilos. Every coach I've met so far says this, but you should never end your session with a failed rep. Check out how nice and tight his back is during that pull. So that is it for part 3 of Shinsung University and Kaiyo High School training camp. Please leave a like if you like this video and make sure you're subscribed to the channel to watch more weightlifting content. I'd greatly appreciate it and it really helps the channel grow. Last but not least, I have merch on We Lift Weights online store, so please make sure to check that out as well if you're interested. As always, thank you for watching the video and I'll see you in the next one.